Men over 60. Start your day with this to improve blood flow down there. Could your breakfast be quietly sabotaging your circulation, especially in the areas that matter most after 60? It might sound surprising, but what you eat first thing in the morning could be playing a bigger role in your overall health than you realize. While many older adults start their day with familiar staples like toast, cereal, or processed spreads, research now shows that certain morning foods may actually hinder healthy blood flow, especially to the lower body. For men and women over 60, sluggish circulation isn't just about cold feet or tired legs, it can also affect energy levels, mental clarity, and even intimacy. But here's the good news. Improving blood flow may not require medication or complicated routines. In fact, some of the most powerful tools for better circulation may already be in your kitchen. In today's video, we're going to explore 5 everyday foods that are backed by science to support healthy blood flow naturally and effectively. These aren't exotic superfoods or expensive supplements. They're simple, accessible, and easy to add to your morning routine. We'll also take a closer look at the science behind these foods, how they support nitric oxide production, and why they're especially important for those navigating the natural changes that come with aging. Along the way, we'll share real-life examples and practical tips to help you make informed decisions about your morning nutrition. If you've been dealing with fatigue, stiffness, or just not feeling quite like yourself lately, this might be the information you've been waiting for. Stick with us, because small changes in your morning habits could lead to big improvements in how you feel, move, and live every day. Understanding the problem. Why circulation declines with age. Let's talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention. Why does circulation get worse with age, and what's really going on inside your body? You see, by the time we hit our 60s and beyond, it's not uncommon to feel a bit off. Maybe you've noticed your feet feel colder than they used to, or your legs get tired faster, especially by the afternoon, or maybe that morning stiffness seems to stick around longer than it should. For some, it's a slight numbness or tingling in the hands and feet. For others, it shows up in more personal ways, like a decline in energy, confidence, or intimacy. Most people assume these symptoms are simply a natural part of getting older. But as someone who's spent decades studying the aging body, I can tell you with full confidence, it's not just age. Let's break it down. What happens to your blood vessels after 60? As we grow older, several key changes happen within our vascular system. 1. Arteries become stiffer and less flexible. The smooth inner lining of your blood vessels, called the endothelium, starts to lose elasticity. That means your arteries don't open up as easily to allow blood through, especially during times when your body needs it most, like in the morning, during physical activity, or in intimate moments. 2. Nitric oxide levels drop. Nitric oxide, or NO, is a natural molecule your body makes to help relax and widen blood vessels. It's essential for healthy blood flow. But after 60, your body simply doesn't produce as much of it. And without enough NO, your circulation slows down, especially to the extremities and pelvic region. 3. Low-grade inflammation builds up. Chronic, silent inflammation, often linked to poor diet, stress, or gut imbalance, can damage the lining of your blood vessels, making it harder for them to expand and stay clear. The result? Less blood flow to your muscles, your brain, your digestive system, and yes, the parts of your body that depend on strong circulation for sexual function and confidence. The signs most seniors overlook. These changes don't usually announce themselves overnight. Instead, they whisper, quietly, subtly, until one day you realize your hands or feet are colder more often. You're dragging your feet by noon, even after a good night's sleep. You wake up stiff and stay that way for hours. Your energy and drive, both physically and emotionally, feel like they've taken a step back. But here's the thing. These are not just signs of aging. They're signs of compromised circulation. And they don't have to be permanent. Let's bust a common myth. There's a belief out there, especially among seniors, that this decline is just the way it is. That once you hit a certain age, it's downhill from there. But the truth is far more hopeful. Your vascular system is incredibly responsive to the right fuel. In fact, studies show that even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, the body can rebuild endothelial function, restore nitric oxide production, and significantly improve blood flow when given the right nutrients. That's why what you eat in the morning matters more than you might think. Morning. A critical window for circulation support. Here's something that surprises many of my patients. The first 1 to 2 hours after you wake up are a golden opportunity to support your circulation. Why? Because during sleep, blood pressure naturally dips, nitric oxide levels decrease, and your vessels become slightly more constricted. This is why many people feel stiff or sluggish first thing in the morning. What you feed your body during this time can either help wake up your vascular system or leave it running on empty. If you reach for high-sugar cereals, processed toast, or breakfast pastries, you're not giving your vessels what they need to rebound. But if you choose foods that support nitric oxide, relax blood vessels, and reduce inflammation, you're setting yourself up for better energy, movement, and focus all day long. So what are those foods? What does a circulation-smart breakfast actually look like? In the next section, we'll dive into 5 simple foods, backed by research and real-world experience, that can help restore your blood flow, sharpen your mind, and support your energy and confidence where it matters most. And the best part? They're affordable, easy to prepare, and most of them are probably already in your kitchen. Let's take a closer look. Why food works better than pills. So now that we understand what's going wrong with circulation as we age, the next question is, how do we fix it? For many people, the first instinct is to turn to medication. And yes, there are times when medications are necessary and life-saving. As a doctor, I've prescribed them when appropriate. But when it comes to maintaining healthy blood flow, especially for adults over 60, the answer isn't always found in a pill bottle. In fact, some of the most powerful tools for supporting circulation come straight from your grocery store, not the pharmacy. Let's take a closer look at why that is. Nitric oxide, the unsung hero of circulation. If you remember just one thing from this video, let it be this. Nitric oxide, often shortened to NO, is your body's natural blood flow enhancer. It's a gas that your body produces in small amounts, and its job is to signal your blood vessels to relax and open up. When nitric oxide is flowing freely, so is your blood. Your heart doesn't have to work as hard. Your muscles get more oxygen. Your brain stays sharp. And yes, your performance, down there, stays strong and reliable. But here's the problem. As we age, our bodies produce less nitric oxide. A lot less. Some studies suggest that by age 60, nitric oxide production can drop by more than 50%. That decline alone is responsible for many of the common issues seniors face: low energy, poor circulation, fatigue, and yes, even sexual dysfunction. The role of inflammation and endothelial health. The second part of the story is inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation, which often comes from poor diet, stress, lack of movement, or even gut issues, can silently damage the lining of your blood vessels. This inner lining is called the endothelium, and it's where nitric oxide is made. When the endothelium is inflamed or unhealthy, nitric oxide production slows down even more. So now, not only is your body making less NO because of age, but it's also losing the ability to use what little it does make. This is where food makes a massive difference. Why real food can outperform pills. Let's face it, medications often treat symptoms, not causes. They can force your body to perform in certain ways, but they don't always fix the underlying issue. And while drugs that dilate blood vessels, like some prescribed for high blood pressure or ED, do work, they also come with potential risks: headaches, dizziness, dependency, and interactions with other medications. But food? Food works differently. When you give your body the nutrients it needs, like natural nitrates, antioxidants, polyphenols, and healthy fats, you're not forcing it to perform. You're fueling it to function the way it's supposed to. And here's the beautiful part. Many of these compounds found in foods can actually restore nitric oxide production, heal the endothelium, and reduce inflammation at the root, something no single medication can do on its own. Plus, food doesn't just target one symptom. It supports multiple systems at once: circulation, digestion, brain health, and even immunity. The secret weapon. Nutrient synergy. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and honestly, a bit exciting. The body doesn't just absorb nutrients in isolation. Many vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds work better together. This is known as nutrient synergy. For example, vitamin C helps your body absorb flavonols from dark chocolate more effectively. Healthy fats from avocado help unlock fat-soluble antioxidants in fruits like pomegranate. Probiotics from yogurt support better nitrate conversion from spinach and beets, enhancing nitric oxide production. When the right foods are combined in the right way, their effects don't just add up, they multiply. That's something pills simply can't do. And that's why breakfast matters. The first meal of the day is the perfect opportunity to create these synergies. Your body is most receptive, your stomach is empty, and your metabolic systems are primed to absorb nutrients. So if your current breakfast is full of processed carbs and sugar, you're missing out on a critical window to support your circulation and energy for the rest of the day. But if you choose wisely, foods that feed nitric oxide, heal the endothelium, and fight inflammation, you're setting your body up for success. In the next section, we're going to explore 5 specific foods that work with your biology to help restore strong, steady blood flow. We'll walk through the science, share real-life stories, and show you exactly how to use them in simple, delicious ways. Because it's not just about what you eat, it's about how those foods work together to help you feel stronger, move better, and live with more energy every day. Let's dive in. The 5 circulation-boosting foods for seniors, and how to use them. So now that we understand the science behind why circulation declines with age, and why food can work better than pills, let's dive into the part everyone wants to know. What should I eat? Here are 5 specific foods that I recommend to almost every patient I work with, especially those over 60. Each one plays a unique role in improving blood flow, supporting nitric oxide, and helping you feel more energized, steady, and confident. 1. Spinach, the nitrate champion. Let's start with a powerhouse you probably already have in your fridge: spinach. Spinach is rich in natural nitrates, compounds that your body converts into nitric oxide. As we discussed earlier, nitric oxide is essential for relaxing blood vessels, improving blood flow, and keeping everything from your brain to your toes properly oxygenated. Just one serving of spinach can contain over 800 milligrams of nitrate. That's more than almost any other common vegetable. These nitrates travel through your digestive system, get converted into nitric oxide, and help wake up your circulatory system for the day. Robert, age 62, came to me complaining of heavy legs and mild numbness around his groin area. He was convinced it was just aging. But when we reviewed his morning routine, he was starting every day with white toast and coffee, no real nutrients to support his blood vessels. I suggested he replace his toast with a spinach smoothie, just a handful of fresh spinach, banana, a splash of almond milk, and a few ice cubes. Within a week, he reported lighter legs, better stamina, and a surprising return of energy by midday. How to use it? Add a handful of baby spinach to your morning smoothie. Toss it into scrambled eggs or an omelet. Lightly steam it and drizzle with olive oil for a warm breakfast side. Spinach is affordable, easy to find, and one of the most effective circulation-boosting foods you can eat, especially in the morning. 2. Greek yogurt plus berries, the gut-heart connection. Here's something most people don't realize. Your gut health directly affects your circulation. Why? Because nearly 70% of your body's immune system lives in your gut. When your gut is out of balance, low-grade inflammation sets in, and that inflammation can damage blood vessels and lower your body's ability to produce and maintain nitric oxide. Greek yogurt is packed with live probiotics that help reduce inflammation and support gut health. When your gut works better, your body absorbs nutrients better, produces more nitric oxide, and supports steadier blood flow. Now, add in berries, especially blueberries, blackberries, or raspberries, and you've got a 1-2 punch. Berries are loaded with anthocyanins, powerful plant compounds that help protect blood vessels, lower blood pressure, and support nitric oxide retention. Martin, 64, told me, "My legs feel like cement every afternoon." He was dragging by 2 p.m., and his motivation to stay active was slipping. I suggested he swap out his morning toast for a bowl of Greek yogurt topped with dark berries. 2 weeks later, he emailed me to say his legs felt lighter, his afternoons more energized, and even his mood had improved. How to use it? Stick to plain Greek yogurt, no added sugars or artificial flavors. Add a handful of fresh or frozen berries, blueberries are especially potent. Sprinkle on chia seeds or walnuts for extra anti-inflammatory support. This simple change not only supports blood flow, it builds a healthier gut, stronger immune function, and better nutrient absorption. 3. Avocado, healthy fats for flexible arteries. If you've been avoiding fat because of outdated nutrition advice, this is your invitation to rethink that. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, the kind that support heart health, reduce inflammation, and keep your blood vessels soft and flexible. They're also high in potassium, a mineral that helps control blood pressure by balancing sodium levels and supporting proper vessel contraction and relaxation. The real-life example, Frank, 59, was skeptical. Isn't that just overpriced guacamole? He joked. He had low stamina, afternoon crashes, and felt heavy on his feet. I asked him to try adding just half an avocado to his breakfast for 2 weeks. He spread it on whole grain toast with a pinch of salt and lemon juice. 10 days later, he told me he had more pep in his step, and for the first time in months, didn't need to nap in the afternoon. Checkmark how to use it. Spread avocado on whole grain toast with a sprinkle of chili or lemon. Add to smoothies for a creamy texture. Dice into scrambled eggs or alongside Greek yogurt with berries. Avocado helps deliver fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, more efficiently, each of which supports vascular and immune health. 4. Dark chocolate, morning flavanol magic. Yes, you heard that right, dark chocolate can be good for your circulation. But not the sugar-filled kind at the checkout counter. Real dark chocolate, with at least 70% cacao, contains powerful compounds called flavanols. These plant-based antioxidants help your blood vessels stay relaxed and responsive. They also boost nitric oxide, protect cells from free radicals, and improve blood flow, especially in the early part of the day when your vessels tend to be tighter. The real-life example, William, 63, used to eat sugary granola every morning. He felt groggy and heavy for the first half of the day. I suggested replacing his granola with a small serving of 70% dark chocolate alongside black coffee and a handful of almonds. Within a week, he said, "Doc, I feel like I'm running on better fuel." His mind was clearer, and his circulation, especially in the mornings, felt more awake and alive. How to use it? Choose dark chocolate with 70% or higher cacao content. Limit to 1 to 2 small squares in the morning. Pair with berries, nuts, or even in oatmeal for an antioxidant-rich boost. Not only does dark chocolate support circulation, it satisfies cravings and brings a little joy to your morning routine. 5. Pomegranate, the royal blood flow booster. Pomegranates have been revered for centuries, and for good reason. They contain polyphenols, including L-argitannins and anthocyanins, which support endothelial function and increase nitric oxide production. In fact, some studies show that pomegranate juice can dilate blood vessels and improve blood flow within just a few hours. That makes it one of the fastest-acting natural tools for circulation support. The real-life example, Edward, 68, was dealing with cold hands, fatigue, and sluggish mornings. I suggested adding 4 ounces of pure pomegranate juice to his breakfast routine. Within 3 weeks, he told me, "My hands are warm again. I feel more alert, and even my doctor noticed my blood pressure is better." How to use it? Choose 100% pure pomegranate juice, no added sugars or blends. Drink 4 to 6 ounces in the morning, ideally with food, or add pomegranate seeds to yogurt, oatmeal, or salads. Pomegranate is powerful on its own, but even more effective when combined with healthy fats like avocado or antioxidant-rich foods like berries. Final thought for this section. Each of these 5 foods works on its own to support circulation. But when used together, especially in a balanced morning routine, they create a compounding effect that can truly change how you feel, move, and function. In the next part, I'll show you how to combine them in simple, delicious ways, and how the synergy between these foods creates results that go far beyond what any single nutrient or pill can deliver. Putting it all together, the synergy routine. Now that you know the 5 powerful foods that support healthy circulation, let's talk about the real magic that happens when you combine them. Because here's the truth: your body doesn't absorb nutrients in isolation. It responds to the way nutrients interact with each other, how they complement, enhance, and unlock one another. This is what we call food synergy. It's not just a catchy term. It's a well-documented biological phenomenon. When certain nutrients are consumed together, like antioxidants, healthy fats, probiotics, and plant-based nitrates, they can amplify each other's effects, helping your body absorb more, heal faster, and perform better. What exactly is food synergy? Think of food synergy as teamwork for your body. Let me give you a few real-world examples. Vitamin C from berries helps preserve and activate flavonols from dark chocolate, making them more effective for blood vessel relaxation. Monounsaturated fats in avocado improve your body's absorption of fat-soluble nutrients like vitamin E and polyphenols from pomegranate. Probiotics in Greek yogurt enhance your body's ability to convert dietary nitrates from spinach into usable nitric oxide. On their own, these nutrients are good. Together, they're powerful. What a synergy-driven morning looks like. Here's what I recommend to my patients who are serious about restoring circulation and energy through food. Step 1. Start your day with a smoothie. 1 handful of spinach, 1/2 banana, a scoop of plain Greek yogurt, 1/2 cup of blueberries or mixed berries, unsweetened almond or oat milk. Blend it all together for a nitrate-rich, probiotic-boosting start to your day. Step 2. Add a slice of whole grain toast with mashed avocado. Drizzle a little lemon juice and olive oil on top. Sprinkle with a pinch of chili flakes or hemp seeds. This delivers heart-healthy fats and potassium to support vessel flexibility. Step 3. Enjoy 1 to 2 squares of 70% dark chocolate with your morning coffee. This helps flood your system with flavonols and antioxidants, especially important after a night of reduced nitric oxide levels. Step 4. Sip on 4 to 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice. This rounds out the routine with a powerful dose of circulation-enhancing polyphenols. That's it. No pills, no complicated supplements, just real food, working together, giving your body exactly what it needs to do what it was built to do: heal, flow, and thrive. James's story. Proof that it works. Let me tell you about James. He's 71, retired, and used to feel like his body was winding down, slowly but surely. His legs were heavy, mornings were stiff, and his energy faded before lunchtime. He had tried medications. He had tried stretching routines. Nothing really moved the needle. But after we walked through the 5 foods we just discussed, James made a commitment. He'd try this synergy routine every morning for 10 days, just to see what happened. His results? On day 3, his legs felt lighter. By day 7, he noticed he was walking farther without effort. On day 10, he said, "I feel like I turned the clock back a decade." He smiled when he said it, but he meant it. Now, months later, this is just how James starts his day. He doesn't think of it as a diet. He thinks of it as fuel for the second half of his life. What if you're thinking, "It's too late," or "This sounds too simple"? I hear this a lot. And I get it. When you've been dealing with poor circulation, low energy, or declining confidence for years, it's easy to feel like real change is out of reach, or that something this simple, eating a few different foods, couldn't possibly make a real difference. But here's what I want you to remember. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. And small changes can lead to big results, especially when they're done consistently. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. You don't have to throw out everything in your pantry. Just start with one small shift. Maybe tomorrow morning, swap that toast and jam for a spinach smoothie. Or slice up half an avocado. Maybe add a few berries to your Greek yogurt. And then, pay attention. Notice how your body responds. Because when you feed your circulation properly, it responds faster than most people realize. What's coming next? In the next section, we'll talk about how to make these habits stick, how to build them into your daily life in a way that's realistic, enjoyable, and flexible. Because it's not just about what you know, it's about what you actually do with that knowledge. And I promise, you can do this. You have more control over your circulation, your energy, and your vitality than you've ever been told. Let's keep going. Expert tips for success. By now, you understand how important circulation is to your energy, confidence, and overall well-being, and you've learned how 5 simple foods can play a powerful role in restoring it. But here's the next big question. How do you actually put this into practice, without feeling overwhelmed or giving up after a few days? As someone who has worked with patients for over 2 decades, I can tell you the key to lasting success is simple. Start small, build momentum, stay consistent. Start with 1 food at a time. You don't need to change your entire breakfast tomorrow. In fact, trying to do everything at once often leads to frustration and burnout. So here's my advice. Pick just one of the 5 foods we talked about. Maybe it's adding a handful of spinach to your morning eggs, or trying Greek yogurt with a few fresh berries, or replacing your toast topping with mashed avocado. Once that feels easy and natural, add in a second food, then a third. In a couple of weeks, you'll have built a routine without even realizing it. Smart grocery list for circulation support. Let's make your next grocery trip easy. Here's a short list of what to pick up. Produce. Fresh spinach. Baby spinach is easiest to use. Avocados, ripe but firm. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. Pomegranate juice, 100% pure. No added sugar. Dairy, alternatives. Plain Greek yogurt. Look for live and active cultures on the label. Pantry. 70% or higher dark chocolate, organic if possible. Whole grain bread or sprouted grain toast. Chia seeds or flax seeds, optional but great for added fiber. Extras. Almond or oat milk, for smoothies. Bananas, for natural sweetness in smoothies. When's the best time to eat these foods? Morning is prime time for circulation support. Why? Because nitric oxide levels tend to dip overnight. That's why many people wake up feeling stiff or sluggish. Feeding your body these foods in the early hours gives your vessels the boost they need to perform better all day long. Prep tips for busy mornings. Pre-wash and portion spinach into zip-top bags, freeze for smoothies. Batch prep yogurt cups with berries and seeds. Store in the fridge. Mash avocado the night before and squeeze lemon juice on top to keep it fresh. Keep a few squares of dark chocolate where you store your coffee supplies. Pour a small glass of pomegranate juice before bed and leave it in the fridge, ready to go. These small steps make it easier to succeed, especially on busy mornings. Final takeaway. What's at stake? If you've watched this far, here's what I want you to remember. You're not just supporting better blood flow. You're reclaiming your energy, your confidence, your connection to life. Every bite you take, every small choice you make in the morning, is a signal to your body that it's worth showing up strong for your health, your family, your future. I've seen men and women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s turn their vitality around with small, consistent changes. You may be thinking, isn't it too late? What if I've already missed my chance? And I get that, but I'll tell you what I tell my own patients. 6 months from now, you'll either wish you started today, or you'll be so thankful that you did. This is not about being perfect. It's about making progress. One meal, one morning, one step at a time. Because health isn't a finish line, it's a daily decision. If this video helped you see things differently, if something clicked, give it a like. Share it with someone else who might be struggling with the same silent symptoms. And if you want more straight talk health insights, built on science, not hype, subscribe to Senior Health Boost. Because we believe that your best years don't have to be behind you. Better mornings lead to better days, and better days lead to better lives. You've got this, and we're here with you, every step of the way.